Hey, what's good, everyone? It's Richard Donahue from Turf Talk. Unfortunately, we couldn't get together. This is being recorded on a Friday, and we still can't get together because of how bad the snow is. So we are doing our picks over the phone, obviously, separately. And I will be talking about the Miami Dolphins versus the Kansas City Chiefs. And I'll do a little breakdown of all the playoff games and just what I thought of them real quick. So first off, I want to do my picks. So it's going to be Buffalo, Kansas City. I think Kansas City just has Buffalo's number when it comes in the playoffs. So give me Kansas City 24-17. I mean, I don't think it's going to be that high scoring. Neither offenses are like really clicking. In my opinion, Gabe's out. Stephon Diggs is probably going to play, but he's hurt. I mean, I just can't see the Bills like being the same offense they were in the beginning of the year, and then they kind of picked it back up after they fired Ken Dorsey. Then Baltimore, obviously, I think is going to beat the Texans, but I think the Texans definitely have a shot. Give me a 34-31 victory. Justin Tucker game-winning field goal. I'll say 31 yards. I don't know. Then we got, Packers, 49ers. And I think that's an easy game. 49ers win 34-20. But Jordan Love he showed a lot of promise. And I think Jordan Love, unfortunately, the Packers have another Hall of Fame quarterback. But it might be too early to say that. But I think he's really, really, really good. And then last game, Lions victory. I just can't see it going any other way. The Lions are like, I think they could go to the Super Bowl. They could definitely upset the 49ers. If the Lions went to the Super Bowl, that would be the first time they've ever gone to the Super Bowl. That would be awesome. I'd love to see the Lions in the Super Bowl. Give me the Lions. What should I say? 27-24. Why not? And then I want to talk about the Dolphins really quick. The Dolphins, unfortunately, lost. What did you expect? The wind chills were -30. It was like -15 degrees. It was sad, but I mean, I expected it. But the problem that I was having was Tua looked like he wasn't the franchise quarterback. I know he had the passing yards record or the leader, but he's the third quarterback to be a Pro Bowler in the Dolphins' history. That game showed me that if he can't get the playoffs, if he can't get a playoff win, then he can't be our franchise quarterback. It doesn't matter what he does in the regular season. So I think next year will be a really good year for him. I think he should be able to get a playoff win, but he has to show it now. I mean, he's going into the 5th year of his contract, the 5th year option. He wants an extension, I'm guessing. I mean, but we're not going to reset the market with him if he can't win a playoff game. You know what I mean? We're not. Chris Greer is not about that. I mean, I don't see Tua wanting a small extension either. So he has to ball out this season, or else there could be some serious changes going on. But I love Tua. I hope that the Dolphins stay with him, and I hope he figures this shit out. But I don't know. So the Browns just had a full collapse against Houston. It wasn't Joe Flacco. It was just the overall team collapsed. I think that they were so injury riddled that you couldn't expect them to go on a run. The Chiefs, they know how to play in that weather, but not that cold. But they play in cold weather. They were home. What do you expect? It's a Florida team. They're not going to win in -30 degree weather. Bills Steelers, obviously, we knew that the Bills were going to blow them out. Cowboys, we knew were frauds since they got wrecked by the Bills and the Dolphins. I mean, they suck, and Jordan Love just had his career game against them, it was weird. Him and C.J. Stroud had the exact same stats. Lions-Rams was really an amazing game. It was super high scoring, and then at halftime they shut down both offenses. It was an awesome game to watch. It really was. It was a really fun game. I mean, overall, the playoffs this year have just been awesome. I'm loving everything about this. And then, dude, Baker Mayfield is him. Baker Mayfield, I can't believe that Baker did that. The way that Baker played was out of his mind. I hope that Baker could go on a run. Like, if he could get one more win somehow, go to the championship game, that would be awesome. Dude, that would be so funny. But I just can't see him beating the Lions. The Bucks can't beat the Lions, in my opinion. But I mean, if he somehow can pull it out with the smelling salts, I don't know. Let Baker cook. That's all I'm going to say for this week's episode. I'm sorry for the short episode, guys. It was just really hard overall to contact each other, and like we couldn't meet up, and we have to post this before divisional weekend. So, but next episode, next Wednesday, we'll be talking about the championship game, and it'll be our usual like around 50-minute videos. So, signing off, Richard Donahue. Peace out.
Hey, what's good, everybody? This is Lennox Suziak with Turf Talk. It is 3:33 on Saturday, what's the day? 21st? I think 21st, yeah. Saturday 21st, as me and Rich were not able to film together today or anytime this week as due to snow, as it's pretty bad out here. There's it's not a travel ban anymore, but there was, and we just weren't able to meet. Couldn't find a time, so we're just gonna be filming individually this week, and I'll be talking. It's not gonna be a long episode, but I'll be talking about the divisional round, my picks, and wild card weekend, how I went with my picks, and that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna start with the divisional games this week. First, we have in about an hour, Houston versus Baltimore. Now this one, I'm a little torn between Houston and Baltimore. I saw that Baltimore does not have Marlon Humphrey this week, and I don't know if they have anybody who's really going to be able to cover the explosiveness and playmaking of Nico Collins. Now, Kyle Hamilton over top will be excellent, and that linebacking core is just crazy good, but it's their offense that kind of worries me. I don't know how they're going to be able to produce in the playoffs, because if you look at it, they're a young offensive team. Lamar, he has few playoff experience, and it's not the best. 2019, he got the 1 seed and lost to the Tennessee Titans, and in 2018, he lost to the Chargers. 2020, he won his first playoff game against the Titans, and then went on to really stink it up against the Bills in the divisional round. So I'm a little torn on how Lamar is going to play under pressure. Because C.J. Stroud just won a playoff game. He has the same amount of playoff wins as Lamar in his rookie year. So I think that I'm going to take Houston 24-20 in a fun one, but I don't know why I can't see Lamar and the Ravens winning. It's in the air. This upset is just in the air for me, and I'm gonna take a shot. I'm gonna take Houston. And then we got the Packers versus the 49ers tonight at 8:15. This game is another one it's going to start slow. It's going to start slow for 49ers. I mean, their starters have had 2 weeks of rest, so they're going to be a little rusty. I think the Packers are going to start the game off hot. It's going to be 10-0 Packers to start the game. Really put the 49ers in upset alert, but I really think that they are going to pick it up, and they're gonna beat the Packers measly 31-21. Actually, no, I can't do that because I just said 10-0. Hold up. They're going to beat them. They're still going to. There's going to be 31-17. 31-17. I'm going to take the 49ers. And then tomorrow, opening it off, it is Lions versus Buccaneers. Now, it does seem like I'm taking a lot of the underdogs so far, but I'm taking Tampa Bay. What Baker Mayfield's out here doing, It really is great what he did last week. I mean, he's a gunslinger. He gets it done. Now, I'm taking Tampa because I don't think that Detroit secondary is going to be able to stop Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. You saw it last week. Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp, Tutu Atwell even, they were cooking that Detroit secondary. I mean, Puka Nacua, my God, have a day. 181 yards on 8 receptions and a touchdown. It really sucks that he lost that game. But at the end of the day, the Rams' offensive line just could not hold up. And that's going to be the factor today. Or tomorrow. The factor tomorrow is going to be that Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive line. I don't see that defensive line for Detroit taking care. They're not going to win the line of scrimmage. I see that Tampa Bay offensive line winning the line of scrimmage with Tristan Wirfs. It's Cody Mao. I mean, it's a good offensive line, and I don't think they're going to have the way. You get Tristan Wirfs on Aiden Hutchinson, and I think Wirfs can win that matchup. Their linebackers don't impress me too much for over the middle. I mean, yeah, maybe they can take care of K-Dotton, but, I mean, that Tampa Bay team last week was just so impressive to me. How they dealt with the Eagles. I mean, it really was. I had Tampa winning 24-10, but 32-9. Man, Baker went over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, and someone who really just popped out to me as it had me shocked. Trey Palmer and David Moore really were putting on a show. It was pretty impressive. And the kick returner, Devin Tompkins, I think he was their kick returner. It was either him or Palmer. I think it was Tompkins. Yeah, it was Tompkins. He really looked pretty well returning the ball, too. He's a shifty guy. But it really was that Philly tackling was horrid, and I know the Lions are going to do better than that. But I think Detroit's story will come to an end here as Tampa Bay Buccaneers move on to the NFC Championship. That's crazy to say, but I got Baker Mayfield taking them away. Will they win? Gonna have to find out next week. And then 6:30 p.m. tomorrow, I'm gonna be there. Chiefs come to Orchard Park and play Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. Whew, we are so spoiled with this matchup. It happens all the time, and it's always a classic. And this one will be nothing short of that. I mean, who doesn't love a good Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes matchup? It really is just magnificent to have this in the playoffs once again. You love it. But there's a certain factor that's switched. The Kansas City Chiefs are coming to Buffalo for the first time since 2020, as Patrick Mahomes has never played in front of Bills Mafia. In 2020, it was the COVID year. Nobody was in the stands. So, it was also like week 6 or 8 they played, so weather wasn't really a factor. And I can tell you, saying, I live out here, it is cold, it is snowy, it's at 6:30 tomorrow, it's windy. The weather is going to be a factor, but I don't think it's going to be that big of a factor for Kansas City or Buffalo. Saying Kansas City last week played in some frigid temperatures. It was crazy how cold it was, but I have Buffalo taking the win 31-28. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be cold. Bills Mafia is going to get it done. Buffalo moves on to the AFC Championship. Did I give a score prediction for the Lions game? I don't think I did, but I'm going to take Tampa Bay. I'll take Tampa Bay 28-27. Went on a blocked extra point. Imagine that. That's right, then. Someone sent me flowers. But looking back at the wild card matchups last week, it was a little disappointing, I can't say. I mean, Houston had its way with Cleveland. But something that really showed was Joe Flacco was not afraid, game on the line, to throw the ball down the field. And that's what you like to see. But he did not get it done. Huge blowout, huge win for the fans at Houston. It really was. It was all Houston. It was all that man, C.J. Stroud. Really was an immaculate performance. Nico Collins cooked. Brevin Jordan cooked. It was close at first, but second half, Houston had their way with Cleveland. And then there was... What was next? Packers-Cowboys. I'd like to say, me and Rich called it. The Cowboys cannot get it done in the postseason. It's actually crazy how the game, it was all Packers. Score looks a little closer than it actually should have been. I mean, they scored all their points really in garbage time. The Packers always had the win. The second they went up 20-0, Packers had the win. Packers had that way with that Dallas team. Dak Prescott in the first half really was not good at all, but second half he definitely picked it up. It looked like he was the only man on that team trying in the second half, but Cowboys defense was not good. But they're keeping Mike McCarthy, which I think is the right choice. I mean, it's either you fire McCarthy and go all out for Bill Belichick, and you don't get him, you're screwed. So I'm okay with them keeping McCarthy. It's not that bad of a... I don't think he's that bad, but it's just... I don't know what it is with that team. They're just cursed. So then we had Miami Dolphins versus Kansas City Chiefs. And like I said, really cold weather. And Tua does what Joe Flacco does not. Tua looked afraid to push the ball down the field. I mean, you're down by 2 touchdowns, and you got Tua still throwing checkdowns on third down. Like, come on. You got to push the ball down the field, Tua. I mean, the last few weeks, Tua has not looked good. He's not looked like the Tua we saw in the beginning of the year. Probably because he's playing good teams. But it really was. Honestly, it was a boring game. I won't lie to you. Kansas City had their way with Miami. Tua just... That offense just was not there at all. That's all I can say is it just was not there. And then there was Buffalo versus... Buffalo versus Pittsburgh. Good game. Good game. I mean, got moved back. Buffalo took care of business. It was a nice win. I was there. It was nice. Got a little scared. They started to come back, but the Bills really just kept it at a 2-score lead most of the time, and they had that game managed. Josh Allen, what a guy. Buffalo injuries. Yikes. And then Tampa, Philly. I mean, I've already really stated Baker Mayfield, that receiving core, that defense. Whew. That Tampa defense put on a show against Philly. It was really immaculate. You loved this. I loved every moment of it. It really was great. It was fantastic. Am I missing a matchup? I don't know if I'm missing a matchup. I don't think I am. No, I think I got all of them. 6 seed. I got all the AFC. I think I got all the NFC. I don't know. I think I did. But, and then, those are really all you can say about the wild card round. It was a tad. Oh, I didn't talk about Rams Lions. How could I forget? Best matchup of the weekend, no doubt. 23-24. The refs really screwed over the Rams at the end there. That was pretty bad. But Detroit moves on. I wanted it to be the Rams. I went 4-2 this week on my picks, but I wanted Matthew Stafford to win that homecoming, but he didn't. So all really I have left to say is the Sabres, just do something, man. Just today they finished their game about an hour ago-ish. 3-1 loss after being on a 2-game win streak. 2 shutouts by UPL. Pretty nice, but you're not playing the worst teams in the league anymore. Even though you are one of the worst teams in the league, you're not playing the worst team in the league anymore, and that showed. At home, they just didn't do anything. Started the game off. eight minutes into the game, down by 2 already. Like, that's how you know the game was over. They scored to make it 2-1, but they just didn't do anything for the rest of the game. And the Bandits, man. What is up with this team? Got a 1-4 team coming into Buffalo, and you lose? You were down 10-3 at half. You come back and you lose. It really is just not what you want as the Bandits lose 12-4. What is wrong with this team? I don't know. This team really just is not. It's a shadow of its former self. It really is. As they dropped to 3-3. Not what you want. Not what you want at all. As the NLL is really. The NLL is getting better. The teams are getting better. The Bandits are getting worse. It's not what you want to see. Not what you want to see. But that's all I really have to say. Hopefully my picks are right this week. Go Bills. And hope everyone has a great rest of their weekend. We'll be back Wednesday. See you then.